Okay, so today we are talking about multi-step equations. I want you to title this on the top, Solving Multi-Step Equations. So the way this foldable is going to work is we're going to solve a problem through each one of these. First, let's go through and write the steps, and then we'll solve a problem. Step 1 is to distribute. So that means you're going to use the distributive property. Like when you have a number on the outside of the parentheses and you multiply the numbers inside. Step 2 on the next sheet of paper is combine like terms. Step 3 is move variables to one side. Step 4 is move constants to the other side. Do y'all know what a constant is? A constant is a number that does not have a variable beside it. So like 4. A coefficient is a number that does have a variable beside it. And the last step is you're either going to divide or multiply. It depends on the problem. So y'all know if it's something like 2x equals 10, how would I solve that one? 2x equals 10, I would divide by 2. If it's x over 3 is equal to 4, I'd multiply. Okay, y'all know how to do those at the end. You're either going to divide or multiply. Okay, so go back to the top, and we're going to work a problem in here. Okay, so this is our problem. 5x minus 7 is equal to 2 times 1x plus 1, sorry, I'll fix it, plus 3. So in this step, we're going to use the distributive property. So I'll look to see where do I have parentheses, and the number that's immediately outside the parentheses is the number I distribute. So I do 2 times 1x, 2 times 1. I have 5x minus 7 equals 2 times 1x is 2x, 2 times 1 is 2, plus 3. So what we're going to do now is we're going to copy the last step of this problem on the next page. So the last step was 5x minus 7 is equal to 2x plus 2 plus 3. That was the last step we did. Now the next step is to combine like terms. Combine like terms. So look on the left side first, and do I have any like terms over here?
No.
I have a 5x and a 7. I can't put those together because one has an x, one doesn't. And I'm going to look on the right side and see, is there anything I can combine over here? Okay, the 2 and the 3. This I can put together. So now I'm going to make this 5x minus 7 is equal to 2x plus 5. Okay, so again, we're going to take the last step we did and copy it on the next one. Okay, so the next step tells me move variables to one side. So you'll know how to do this. This is where I look and see I have 5x and 2x, and I pick the smaller one. So that's 2x. This positive 2x, that tells me I subtract it. And these cancel. 5x minus 2x, 3x. Bring down minus 7 is equal to 5. Again, take that last step you did and copy it on the next one. 3x minus 7 equals 5. Next, it says move constants to the other side. So remember, we said constants are the numbers that do not have variables beside them. I need to move this 7 over to the other side. Add 7. This 3x is equal to 12. Okay, again, take that last step, put it on the next part. 3x is equal to 12. So the last step is either multiply or divide, and this is your job to know what to do. In this case, what do I do? Good. I divide by 3. X is equal to 4. To me, once you get past the first 2 steps, y'all can do the rest. Just the first 2 steps are the hardest part. Do I need to go back to any part of it for anybody? Okay, go to the other page that I gave you. Okay, so basically with this foldable, sometimes you're going to have to do all the steps and sometimes you don't. Like sometimes you may not have parentheses, and so you may not have to do the distributive property. Sometimes you may not have any terms to combine on each side, so you might be able to skip that step. But if you always go in this order. So for example, start with distribute and think, do I have parentheses? Is this something I have to do? So yes or no. And then, do I have like terms? Yes or no. Do I have variables on one side? Go through each one. Okay, so first one, do I have to distribute? Yes or no? Yes, I have to because there are parentheses. So in this one, I actually have to distribute twice. I have to do 2 times 4x, 2 times 3, 2 times 2, 2 times x. Okay, I'm going to write my answer over here, how I did that. 2 times 4x is 8x. 2 times 3 is 6. And I keep this sign, 2 times negative 3, make it minus 6. Bring over the minus 8 is equal to, and I'm going to distribute again. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times x, 2x. So now, do I have to combine like terms? This is where you look on the left side first, and then look on the right side. Which side do I need to combine like terms on? Left. Okay, over here. So I'm going to say yes, and I like to put beside it, I need to combine on the left side. Okay, just so when you're looking back here, you really know what you're doing. These are the ones I need to put together. Negative 6 minus 8. A lot of people miss this sign in front of the 6. Negative 6 minus 8, what is that? Good. So now I'm going to have 8x minus 14 is equal to 4 plus 2x. Okay, next step. Do I have variables on both sides? Yes or no? Yes. In this one, it is a yes. So that tells me I need to move the smaller one. Okay, I have 8x and 2x. Which one do I move? 2x. It's positive 2x. So to move it, I subtract. Minus 2x, minus 2x. So now I'm going to have 8x minus 2x is 6x minus 14 is equal to 4. Okay, next step. Is the variable isolated? Okay, like is this variable by itself? No. So that means I have to get rid of this 14, and then I have to get rid of the 6. So how do I get rid of the 14? Plus 14. Question. So I have 6x is equal to 18. And is the variable being multiplied or divided? Yeah. To solve it, I need to divide. X equals 3. Okay, go on the back side. We're not going to do the front yet. Okay, the way that we're going to do these is we're going to work it out on the right side, and then we're going to write what we're doing on the left side. Okay, so in this problem right here, what do I have to do first? Distribute. Okay, anytime I have parentheses, that tells me I have to distribute. I take the 4 and multiply it by the numbers inside. So 4 times j is 4j. 4 times 7 is 28. So look at your foldable as you do this. This is an example of where we don't have to use all the steps. So first distribute, I did have to do that. Combine like terms. So you look on the left side, any like terms over here? Look on the right side, any over there? No, that means I can skip this step. The next step says move variables to one side. Do I need to do this step? No, because my variables are already on one side. Next is move constants to one side. This one I do have to do, because I have numbers without variables on both sides. How do I move constants? Add 28. So I have 4j is equal to 40. Good. And let's write the step we did over here. We moved constants. Okay, and the last step, what do I have to do? Divide by 4. Yep. So j is equal to 10. And I mean, I guess if I had an extra sheet of paper on the foldable, I would have said check. But to check it, remember you just take what you got and plug it in the place of j. So I did 4 times 10 minus 7 is equal to 12. So work out just the left side. Now, this is order of operations. Do parentheses first. 10 minus 7 is 3. 4 times 3 is 12. So we got it right. Okay, skip to number 3, right below it. Okay, on the foldable, what's the first step I have to do? Distribute. I have parentheses that tells me distribute. I have to distribute twice. So I'm multiplying the numbers inside the parentheses by the numbers in front of it. So 2 times a is 2a. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 so equals 3 times a is 3a. 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, make sure you write the first step you did. Okay, now go down your checklist. Combine like terms. Do I have any like terms on the left side? Do I have any like terms on the right side? Okay, we can skip that step. Next one, move variables to one side. Yes, I need to do that. I have a's on both sides. So I'm going to move the smaller one, move 2a. It's positive 2a, so I subtract. So 3a minus 2a is 1a. Next, I move what? Constants. So I need to move the 3. I'm going to subtract 3. Negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. And I can put negative 5 equals 1a, or I can just say negative 5 is equal to a. Okay, we're going to do one more together. We'll get the hang of it. Just follow the steps and you'll get them right every time. Go down to number 5. Number 5, we do start with distributing again, but be really careful because make sure you notice this is a negative 3. We're doing negative 3 times 4x, negative 3 times 3. And then we're doing 4 times 6x, 4 times 1. This is going to be negative 12x plus or minus 9. Minus, because it's negative 3 times positive 3 equals negative 9, so I'll write minus 9. 4 times 6x is 24x. 4 times 1 is 4. You have a question?
Do you not bring the plus side down, or you just make a subtraction?
Since right here,
Mm-hmm.
I did negative 3 times positive 3, which is negative 9. Since it's negative 9, you can write minus 9.
Okay.
That would be the same as writing plus negative 9, but this is just a little more simple. Okay, next step, combine like terms. Looking on the left side, do I have any like terms to combine?
Yes.
This time I do, yeah. I need to do negative 12x plus 24x. And then I also need to do negative 9 plus 4, which is negative 5. The next step says move variables to one side. Do I need to do that step? No, I already have variables on one side. That's done. I'll skip it. Next, move constants to the other side. I need to do that. I'm going to add 5. 12x is equal to 48. And then we all know my last step is to divide. X is equal to 4. Okay, what I want you to take the rest of the period to do is I want you to do 2, 4, and 6 on the back, and then I also want you to do the 3 problems on the front at the bottom. So you have a total of 6 problems. The ones on the back side, I want you to write down the steps. The ones on the front side, you can just solve. Are there any questions about that? Okay, you can go ahead and get started.